there's that organization over in, Everett,
Thanks, All right, we'll get started. Give our honorable guest some time to speak after business. Does our part-time Sergeant Arms want to step up and take over again?
Oh, absolutely.
Isn't it great to tell you? You know, I'm gonna do that right now. All of you.
So let's
too.
do the flag salute. Are you ready? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic and one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, everybody, I'm gonna need some help on this one, okay? So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna read it. Make sure I don't goof it up. So first. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Vacant. Seventh. Two-handed. All right. Go Dogs.
Eileen, or want to brighten us up this morning?
I would love to. And today's quote comes from Albert Einstein. You can't use an old map to explore a new world. And
Yes, we have, Secretary of State, Steve Hobbs, photographer, wrangler.
Yep. Randy Bowler Jack, hi there.
Our own Steve Hobbs will be speaking today as our speaker. Yeah. No birthdays that I was aware of, no anniversary. Oh, we have 2 anniversaries coming up. Mr. Gary and Bev O'Reilly. Monday, hey, 63 years. My math is wrong. Yeah. And then Bob and Ann Howe on Monday as well. 18 years.
Too.
That's appreciate that. Few years apart, but
It's just a few.
yeah. Announcements, on the 28th, 29th, we have the film festival. I know there's been some emails still looking for some positions to be filled for popcorn. So if you can do that, take a look at that. That's Saturday, Sunday. Blood drive, on October 4th. I haven't looked this week to see if they're all full or not, but
We have 7 more spots that
Okay.
I would love for you guys to fill or ask someone else to fill.
it's gonna be right after, I was gonna tell last weekend about, is it gonna be right after the Rotary meeting or during it or
It's gonna start at 10 o'clock.
at 10 o'clock? Yeah, see me in our down for a spot.
Thank you.
Empty bowls that day too.
Correct.
an empty bowls that day.
Busy day.
Thanks, that segue. Harvest Fest on the 31st. Halloween downtown. Irish music in the background. And then, just don't forget our weekly reminder about sponsorships for our, annual, fundraisers. Remember here, if you bring in one, you get your name put in here and you win, and we'll pull it out for $100 gift card to Francisco's. Real quick after the meeting, if any of the board members can stay around for 10 minutes, we're talking about the station, the arts and parks, what we want to put on the plaque and each fish get an individual something on there, right? I think the email came from you, so. So let's go to reports real quick and treasury report.
Looking good. We're getting sponsorships in, so, you'll hear about our raffle and a little bit about that. So keep bringing in those sponsorships.
Gary? Treasury report?
The only thing is the board meeting on, Wednesday, October 9th at, Sherwood. At 5:30.
President-elect, Brian? Nothing. Community Services, Rochelle's not here. Foundation, Bob? Yeah. Not yet, okay. International, Chris?
Nothing too new, other than they got about 65,000 of, money that came in mysteriously. Anonymous donors, so they're putting their committee together on how to spend that. So.
Love when that
amazing,
happens.
right?
Love when that
It happens. Anyhow, that's it.
I did get an email on, said it's talking about the YES program. I don't know if you're involved with that.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're looking for, they had some people back out. They need some more people to fill in, or they're gonna have to cancel.
Yeah,
Something
something like
like
that.
Membership, Raquel?
We are doing really good, and, if anybody's interested in joining a membership group, come to me after the meeting, and we will kind of come up with a little bit of maybe a plan of how to create a little bit of a audience. Also, I wanted to mention that my, distributor for my business, also distributes beer and wine. And I asked him if he would donate to our Rotary, and he is donating beer for a year. So he's gonna actually, I know.
What
he's
on
donating-
earth?
he-
I like
he-
the live
Teachers,
option. What are you doing? Wow.
So beer for a year, so basically it says you will get, 2 cases of beer a month for a year. Ton of beer.
Get together and I will tell you, the club address is 11108.
He's like, beer for a year, I'll do that too. That is really generous.
That would be a fun
That'll be
donation,
an
a
auction.
Rotary gift.
Yeah, right.
Or,
Auction gift or something, yeah. Cool. That's what-
like one.
Vocational services, Kristen, you got anything?
I actually attended the Interact meeting on Wednesday to talk about YES and to talk about RIE. So it's not Maggie Gamero, that is the new Interact advisor. It's Matt Betancourt. He's
Okay.
actually in my old classroom, so easy to find. The group of kiddos there wasn't very many, but I'm sure it's going to continue to grow. So it was nice to be back on campus.
Yeah, I did get an email asking about and they said Matt's name, and I didn't even recognize, I was like, I don't think she sent it to the wrong person, so I think I linked you in the email just so, but hopefully you straightened that out, so, thank you. All right, programs, Kendra, you on? Rams in Taipei or something, he's Taiwan, so no. Now we're to our. Oh, that, sorry,
I don't wanna make it all about me.
no. What? And we're saying the best for last?
Okay, so we have 5 weeks before our auction. We've sold a few tickets, so thanks to those who have bought tickets. A lot of you still need to buy tickets for those who have not sponsored, so please do so. I have your auction item form, so if you have an item to donate, please fill this out and get it back to me, and then bring the item to the event, because we're not having anybody for it. But I do need to log these into the website. Lori's been really great about keeping me posted of the sponsors. Thank you so much. I will get Green Shield added today. Who is going to be seeing Rochelle in the next couple of days?
She said she was gonna be here this morning.
So Jim, are you gonna see her at all in the next couple of days, do you think?
I say,
Well, I sent her the card, and it came back, and it was the address in Club Runner. So,
she moved, so.
okay, well, this was from Marine View Drive. This was, so I don't know if she's moved since then, but it was returned. So if you're going to see, are you going to see her over the weekend?
Yes, I am.
Can I give you this to give to her, please? Thank you. I want to make sure she gets that. And if anybody has, a card that needs to be sent out, or somebody's sick, or somebody's feeling down, or whatever, please reach out to me so I can get those taken care of. I just bought some new, greeting cards, so. Oh, thank you so much.
And then Rand was supposed to send me the digital version of the sponsorships, but I think he was trying to get out of town, so that didn't happen. But if you need one, let me know. And, I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, yep, we got the announcements, Marysville Rotary Club, their auction is coming up on October 20th at Kalila. Anyone's interested, or invitations up here, I'm gonna show Eileen, so maybe she can get some. Their
Great.
auction.
Thank you, sir.
And we're on to community services report.
You are?
Yep,
I knew.
perfect timing.
Okay, so here's the deal. We have tons of cool stuff happening. This weekend, we are helping at the, film festival, which is Saturday is at the Lakeside or Lake Point Church, or Live Point. I went there when it was Lakeside 100 years ago. Lake Point. Live Point Church, tomorrow, so I need volunteers for popping popcorn Saturday and then Sunday at the high school at PAC. Film Festival is the coolest event. I have no idea what it was. Jim drug me there, what, 2 years ago, last year? Seems like, and it was the coolest event ever. It's really fun, and so, I do need 4 volunteers for tomorrow. Yes, thank you. Sunday is full. Thank you very much to everybody that volunteered for Sunday. And then we also have the, blood drive coming up on the 4th, it's Friday, so last night, everybody should have gotten the, should have gotten their, sign-up sheet, and, thankfully, we have, Ms. Lewandowski has signed up for the first shift from 9 to 1, and it's here. I just need someone from 1 to 5:30. It stops at 5, half an hour to clean up and put the cookies back in the box. Dude, that's a fun guy too. I wrote it.
35,
10 to 5, yeah, but I'm gonna be a little early, so.
That came back.
Anything else?
Oh, thank you so much, you guys.
address.
You have to.
Address.
Oh.
All right.
I have a place to live now.
Michelle, you good?
Pardon?
Is that it?
Yes, thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yep. All right.
Oh.
Should we do this?
Yes, Sergeant at Arms.
All right. All right. Here we go.
This is like, you guys all know, this is like, this is huge, and it is Title P now, I have the keys, and, we're doing it out over the cliff, but I have to go.
Happy to.
And I don't know why it's even, Michelle, I don't know why it's not that high.
There you go, winners.
Alright, I think I'll wait till I stop talking.
In a more timely manner. It doesn't
Thank you,
matter.
wow. There you go.
Alright, the winning ticket, 6247033.
Now the real one.
All right, then, here you go.
I'll be reflected. I am. Sorry, Bob.
All right, how's everybody doing? Great. All right, one more time. How's everybody doing? Good to see everybody today. Everybody's looking bright and shiny. We've got Steve talking today. That's gonna be great. President Ron, good job this morning. Good job, well done. All right.
There's cookies with the coffee.
There's cookies with the coffee. The coffee's delicious.
Dude, you're so easy. I love cookies. You're so
All right. Fish off. Those are good.
Pardon?
Fish off, yeah, fish off.
Yeah, fish sauce.
Those are delish. I love those. Okay. I just ate a steak on one of yours. If you love dish off, raise your hand. That's a buck.
Before gluten free, yeah.
Bam. It's delicious. You can dip it in coffee, dip it in your tea. Who else loves a dish off?
Right behind you.
Oh, there you go. Bam, right there.
I'll Venmo you.
Bam, love it. They're delicious.
One of them.
Coffee, just absolutely. Who here has asked their last airline flight attendant for another little package? Anybody?
Has asked them for
Bam, bam.
That's all.
All right. I got a little ahead of myself because you know how it works. You're gonna need a good warm up, so everybody up. Everybody up.
I've done this in a while.
Okay, yeah, shake it out a little bit, shake her out, you know, get loose. Give you some windmills. All right, good deal. Okay, hands at your side.
Okay, I'm tired now.
Now hands at your hip. Now we're gonna do some Jack LaLanne's that don't
Yeah.
make any sense. Ready, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and get your wallet out. Okay, you got PTC, everybody. AFPT.
Yes. You do the wall stretch.
You do this at
Oh, yeah, yeah.
commission meetings too?
What's that?
Do you do this at the commission meetings?
No, we don't let it. We're fully shenanigans. Did you say commission?
Yeah.
If you are a commissioner of anything, get out of the box. I'm so fired. If you're an elected official,
Of any kind?
get out of the box.
All right. Yeah, I know.
Bam.
I'm gonna have to carry my campaign funds on it.
Hey, Kevin. Oh. Bam.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be some happy bucks. Okay. If you use some form of an electric toothbrush, who uses electric toothbrush? Probably everybody in the room.
Tracy.
That's a buck.
I already know. I'm like, oh, it's already fine.
These are biggest ones.
So that's well thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
my goodness.
thank you for that. Oh, we don't, we're over here.
Wait, how it gets on in the closet, oh my God.
All right, okay. If you had, anybody have fruit this morning to start their day? Raise your hand. There you go, bam.
This is gonna cost
Me when I get to the office.
Okay,
We can touch that real quick.
Okay.
I want to hear some of my coffee.
done with that, so we're gonna switch over to Happy Bucks. But with Happy Bucks, I think we've done this before. Today's a different day. Start off with, what animal are you today? What animal are you? And then go into your Happy Bucks.
I'll start.
Okay.
I'm Seahawks today.
Oh my goodness. I'm good. Sorry.
And I'm happy because tomorrow will be our very first day, and so I can't help with the popcorn sometimes. But I will be at the Arlington Farmers Market and, setting up a booth for our sign business. I'm so excited, so, if you have questions, let me know, but we'll be in Arlington with our first booth and hopefully making our first sale.
So, you guys ready over here? Yes, we are. Okay.
I'm a mermaid.
You are.
Our movie, it's animals, mystical creatures. Yeah, it usually is. Oh, there's
So-
happening at the game.
So are mermaids.
No.
And I'm really happy to be here today. And I love all of the events. You guys should go to the film festival. And when you're done with that, you can go to downtown Lake Stevens on Sunday because they're hosting a regatta. And we're, putting that on and I'm rowing in it as well.
Well, she can be a mermaid. I can be a liger.
Fabulous.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's mystical.
There you go.
And I am happy because I'm home from traveling from a couple conferences and it's good to hang out with my little dudes.
Wow. And you got skills.
And I got skills. We should have a Rotary Napoleon Dynamite night.
Oh, you should. That'd be the best.
Food.
Love that movie. My dad grew up in that town.
Really?
Well, I think I'll have to go with, I don't know, cat. I'm a little sleepy, wanna just curl up, you know, in the fall weather, so I'm a little kitty cat,
Yeah.
yeah. So here's $5 from the pot and back, and just happy. Film festival, I'll reiterate what Michelle said, it's fabulous. I was there last year, not able to go this year because of Morphin this weekend. But there's also happy bucks there. I leave on Thursday for that 2-week friendship exchange trip to Hungary, mostly in Budapest.
Cool.
So looking forward to that, although it's kind of like coming fast, like train.
All right, there's 5 happy bucks. I'm gonna continue the Film Fest love with the movie Beyond that Sherwood and BECU is sponsoring at the Film Fest tomorrow at 1. And met with Drew Miller yesterday, and so we're gonna do a little Q&A after the movie with both Drew and the director, Thiago. So hope to see you there.
My channel is on your niche, she's very motivating and I'm sorry today. But that's. I am line today because I'm moving from here to head over to Fort Townsend for diving for the weekend. Probably the last cold water dive until Mexico, which is in 20 days.
Hey, Lance, maybe I missed it. Animal?
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
sorry. You
Okay.
stole it. That's right.
I ate 4 grapes this morning, there's my. And, I see a deer, there's a beautiful doe in our backyard yesterday, and my dog will just go freaking out, so I was like, oh. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy because I am. I am happy because I have 39
That's the
days,
seal.
12 hours, 7 minutes and 25 seconds left to leave. Actually, that is done. Also happy that, Rotary is giving me an excuse not to have to drive all the way to Lincoln today. So, I know Randy probably appreciates that too. Orange County. And he's keeping me in check, and he's a too, unfortunately. He left that off the application.
Obviously, Hawk today, because I love the Hawks, and I'm doing fantastic with their new coach and everything, and I'm glad it's Friday, and being around a bunch of positive people, all these big things go well.
Here's money. We've got, I love Manolo fans, and I can relate. Last night, I attended the EAFC Ambassadors event. Danny was there and Carl was there, and it was a really fun event. It was great to really see everybody. I'm grateful for the committee and their support for the auction. We're gonna be having a new auction meeting coming up, so I'll make sure to get the email. Just to talk about kind of like what we have left to do. And I'm really glad it's Friday. I'm really glad.
All right, well, I'm a sleepy dog, but I'm glad to be here today to listen to Steve talk.
Let's go to the big screen. Kristen, how are you? You're always happy. And studious. We had that option. Nice. Well, Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing just dandy. The Putting for a Purpose event was awesome last night, and I'm happy to have attended that and seen the community support there. And I'm also excited to volunteer for the first time at the film festival in Lake Stevens on Sunday. So I'll put some happy bucks digitally into the Venmo account, and just looking forward to the weekend.
Linda, are you there?
Good morning. I am here. I'm just happy to be here. See all your faces. So I'll Venmo happy bucks myself.
Cool. Excellent. Mr. President.
Well, I gotta go ahead. Game day, so knock down Rutgers tonight, and, I'm happy, this Saturday, we have a chance, make sure she's not looking there, but a surprise engagement party, so my daughter's getting boyfriend can propose, and I got pregnant first, and now so they're doing things backwards.
There's no there you go. It's all G.
Yeah, so, good, surprise party tomorrow.
Cool. Oh, come on over here.
I'm a dog, DAWG. And, I have, I think, some happy bucks. Dawn and I are taking our 5 grandchildren to this new movie, The Wild Robot.
Oh, yeah.
It might be a
Oh,
good
yeah.
time for a nap.
It's a great story.
It is a great story.
Great.
Yes,
You know it?
well, I've heard a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Like the whole wild robot deal. In second grade.
I'm
Yeah.
Second grade is big. Teachers, I knew about Wild Robot.
So, Honey Bear. Is a honey bear all the time.
Yeah, honey, you-
No. And, it's good to see you.
I don't know, as
You get a free pass.
Okay, I appreciate it. I can find that Venmo. I'm happy to do that.
You're good.
You know, the boss stole some of the thunder on this, but I am a Cougar. I'm very happy that, Washington's 2 major football teams are undefeated. I don't know who we trampled on to get there, but, it happens.
What exactly It ends this weekend because they play Boise State.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun Saturday. And then I'm just, happy I've got, 10-month-old is yesterday at home and just had Dr. Foreman, happy and healthy, so.
I guess the Eagle, and then, I'm just happy, my son, not happy that he left, but I was happy that I got. Yeah. Right.
What animal are you? Oh, that is eagle. Oh, yeah, I wish.
Soar high above.
Oh, I am very, very happy. I'm excited that it's fall. I love this time of year. I want to be a cat because I want to be just cuddly and warm and yeah, that's my favorite thing. I'm looking forward to this weekend, actually. I actually have, one of the filmmakers are spending the night at my show because Drew's house is too full. And so one of the filmmakers is spending the night, adjacent to her house. I don't know who this unlucky fellow or woman is, but gets out to Drew's house over to my side. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend. It's shockingly, I mean, it really is. I remember when we did it, a couple years ago and it was like, oh man, but it really is fun. And you see films that you might not have ever seen, and it is so amazing. So if you guys haven't thought about going, definitely check it.
It's just an awakening to the art, storytelling and filmmaking that I feel like that we take for granted, like on the big cinema. And just, it's always accessible on our smart TVs and you just realize, that, oh my gosh, these people are geniuses and they care and there's so much thought in the production. And again, beyond, it's such an important message that maybe it would go unheard if it wasn't for this amazing opportunity, amazing storytellers, right? Yeah.
So, go again. Charles, read them.
think so. Tomorrow 3 and Sunday is 20. So I'll send them. For me? Okay, so other than more, I already owe $2 for whatever else. I'll be a clam.
There you go.
And then happy as up. Things are good, and, I really didn't want to get out of bed this morning, but every time I think I just told you the other day, every time I don't want to come and I come, it's amazing, and this is so fun, it's so great to see everybody, and, I'm happy that I got out of bed.
Great, okay, so we got to rattle around here.
You don't.
That's my favorite animal. And yesterday, I gave 35 kiwi grapes and visits for my group. Then I'm taking to Henley for Hawaiian Festival. And the TVs, I got it for my daughter in Gila. Because we do not have TVs here. I find out at the flower mart over here. They're selling a TV for 85 cents. One. I called my daughter, said, "Hey, please send on TV." Bags,
Retirement.
stripped them all and put them together. Anyhow, I'm happy.
And Billy, what does your animal look like?
Oh, it's the turtle.
Turtle?
Yeah.
So, Iris brother.
Teddy bear.
There you go.
I had to think of something that nobody else would, because I am a teddy bear. Well, once, 63 years on, Monday. We are heading over to Brett's old neighborhood in Boise to see our, granddaughter, number 3 granddaughter, and her boyfriend, and spend a couple days with them. That's why I'm leaving on Sunday, so I won't be there. And tomorrow, I've got my granddaughter who's moving to Tucson because her parents are getting ready to sell the house, and she doesn't have a job. She has to go back home at 32. So I gotta take her to the airport tomorrow. And then, it's been a interesting, wild week, with some of the activities I'm currently involved in, and a lot of fun. So,
Good to see you too.
you got out of Northern Ireland. I'm really surprised.
Got out of Northern
Yeah.
Ireland, yes, no, happy about that, actually, happy, not happy. Northern Ireland is incredible, if you ever get a chance to travel, it's beautiful, warm, friendly, everywhere you go is fantastic. So I'm happy about that, dropped off Colin at Queen's University in Belfast. He's getting his master's degree in violence, terrorism, and security. Crazy, really good program there, beautiful, great spot. And
Anti-terrorism.
that's what it is.
They ought to know one about it.
It's crazy, they actually, that is the title, violence, terrorism, and security.
Yeah.
And it's
Fun, actually.
it's so interesting, I mean, reading about it and then visiting the campus with them, they were so friendly and welcoming. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm at a park top of that already.
So it's cool, so happy about that. Happy to see all of you. Like Rochelle, I saw Rochelle the other day and we were talking about, I'm such a terrible Rotary person. It's hard getting up and a busy week, and you said, I always feel so good, and I feel the same way, so it feels good to be here. And then I have some more happiness, thanks to Rochelle. Daniel has a house that he's in the process of purchasing, so thank you. But I'm really most happy because when Daniel gets into his house, we're empty nesters. Yeah! For a while, for a little while.
Yeah, I'll come back.
We put that out in the extra bedroom, that's what we did.
Yes.
Spacious.
Yes.
Spacious.
Anyway, good to see you guys. I'm dropping in. Thank you very much.
All right.
Mr.
Thank you.
President.
All right, Lori. Oh, Lori.
I got you.
Oh, did you? Huh? I didn't hear you. What was your animal?
Here.
Here. Okay, oh, that's right. All right. So.
Oh, I forgot. I'm a husk hawk.
Ah. That'd be interesting.
Hawk.
That's so much than any experiment there.
Oh, my God.
Order in the court. So it's time for our speaker. Our very own English Secretary of State, Mr. Steve Hobbs, AKA Gamer, whatever you want, but, thanks for Colonel. Yep. I hope you get up your. Yeah, I appreciate that.
He's even dressed up today.
I am. That's right. Well, thank you all for letting me do this, because again, it's an excuse. I don't have to drive to Olympia, which is me.
It's right to the left of the.
Why, we need to share it with the people online.
No, but it's not gonna be a share, you just need to present, not in Teams,
Oh, not
because we're on Zoom, so you just need to share the screen.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Good thing I have people here. Let's see it.
Middle left.
There it is.
Holy cow, we're old.
I have no idea.
Ron, you're doing an awesome job.
I can't see, I have my glasses, they're over there.
You gotta do a presentation mode.
Down, right.
Oh, and they come.
Steady. One more to the right.
Right here.
One more of them.
Fire.
There you go.
So you.
Uh-oh.
On board inside.
There you go.
I don't know.
Thank you. And then we're gonna reduce this window. Maybe you put this to the side here. Okay, all right. That's me. I usually go into a long thing about me because I love me, but I don't need to do that with you all. That's great.
Because we love you.
Yes, thank you. And I love you. Anyway, yeah, you know my background. This is about the time where I tell people about, my mom coming to this country, pregnant with me. She didn't know English. We learned together by watching Sesame Street. And just to put this word out, it's very important about the kind of disinformation about immigrants. My cat's still very safe around my mom. Yeah. Hmm? Oh, that's, yeah, anyway, yes, that's his bad. That's his bad. Right. Right.
No, you're on.
I know, right? No, so, my agency's mission, you can see it all there. I want to just go straight into what we kind of do here. And just so you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save elections to the last because that gets the most questions, most interest. But the office is more than election, just so you know. It's not just about elections. The main thing I do in the Constitution is I'm the keeper of the Great Seal. There's the Great Seal, the official seal. And if you go across the United States, Secretaries of State are usually the custodian or protector of the Great Seal of their respective state. It was established in 1889. Also, my job is literally being a secretary, taking notes of the legislature going on and keeping all the records. As time has gone on, every Secretary of State has a different type of portfolio. Some Secretaries of State actually have Department of Motor Vehicles. Thank God I don't have that. Ugh, ugly. I have libraries. Other Secretary of State don't have libraries. My friend in Kentucky has cemeteries. I'm glad I don't have cemeteries, right? Old dead people voting, yeah. Anyway.
Kick out Louisiana.
That's, yeah. So these are the divisions. It's not all the divisions that I have, but it is most of them. So our executive team, which is, of course, with Randy as part of, is my deputy. I got the archives, corporation, charities, nonprofits, and the library. That's under Randy's book of business. I have 3 executives, and I've divided up the office in that. Now, of course, we got elections, external affairs, information security, which you can't see under that thing there, and then operations. Oh, and we'll start off with archives. So we are keeper of the state's history. So not only do we have archives, but we have something called Legacy Washington. So we produce books, we do oral histories. We're trying to get our podcast going. That's a struggle, but eventually that'll be going on. We have all kinds of records, not just official government records, but we have your records too. So, you know, your births, your deaths, your divorces, sorry. Your second divorces for some of you. So we have all of that going back to the territorial days of our state. We even have a letter from George Washington dated back in 1777. I don't know why we have that, because we weren't even a territory in 1777, but we do have all these old records. And in fact, you can go to any of our archives across the state, which are kept in most of our 4-year institutions, except for WSU Evergreen. So if you go to Western, near there is our archives building. You can go in there, and it's pretty fascinating because you can pull out these old leather-bound books. And I remember when I'm opening up and I'm going through it, and just all these blank pages. So I finally got to a page written in nice handwriting during the territorial days of our state, and it talked about the marriage of 2 people. And there were some chickens and cows and stuff that were exchanged. But that's how they kept track of their marriages. There was no marriage certificate. A lot of people who want to look into their history, their family history, they go to our state archives. Next is our state library. We actually own all the libraries in our state prisons. We have what we call WTABL, Washington Talking Book and Braille Library. We own the hospitals and the libraries in our 2 state hospitals. And when I first got in there, we did not own the libraries in our youth detention facilities, which is weird because we have them in our adult facilities, but not in our youth detention. And so we started doing that. And it was it Echo Glen? Yeah, Echo Glen was our first one, and 75% of the kids checked out a book. It's pretty cool. Nice. We're trying to do more with libraries than just managing them, which was kind of the thing in the past. So what we're trying to do is be more engaging. So therapeutic gaming that we started up, we've reached out to a nonprofit that kind of does that stuff. We're trying to have stronger ties with our rural libraries because they're under attack. We had the Dayton Library about a year ago, 1.5 ago. There were some folks that wanted to ban some books, and then they wanted to get rid of their library. And so we're trying to make that a little harder for them. But one way to do that is just tie your library to your community. And so the Safe Library, Safe Kids initiative is what we've been doing. So we've been establishing these small game libraries so that kids can go to a place and get together, play games.
Game library?
Games, yeah.
Game library.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of big cities have those, right? You can go to, I think, Vancouver has one. You can go there and check out a game, or they have like game groups and all kinds of stuff. So just trying to do a little bit of that. Also, it's hard to do it, but we've been trying to establish this in our institutional libraries, in our state prisons, giving people a second chance. So we hire inmates to help us put the books back, inventory. And so what I'm trying to get the librarians to do, once we get this program going, is if you find an inmate who's doing a really good job and they're about a year out from release, you put them on a program where when they're released to get a job with the Secretary of State's office. So that's what we're trying to establish. And we've got a civics education program that we're trying to establish. So you're about 6 months at the end, you're out from release, you go through a civics education course where you get to learn about your state, how you can be engaged. Maybe you go out the door, you become a voter. Corporation, charities, and nonprofits. Hey, if you own a business, you do a charity, nonprofit, we do that. And we're trying to up our game. So we're going to open up a branch in Cheney. If that goes well, we'll open up other branches. We only have one office, which is in Olympia, which is a pain in the butt for a lot of people because sometimes you have to drive all the way to Olympia to get, you know, if you have a problem. Apostilles, does anyone know what an apostille is? It's like a super notary. So adoptions, if you've got a kid, a foreign exchange student wants to exchange their credits, you usually have to have an apostille, or big business deals, you need an apostille. So again, you'd have to come all the way down to Olympia, or we have to try to rush mailing that to you. But now we got e-apostille program, right? We're setting up, and hopefully these offices will be able to help out. And we're going to be a little more proactive by setting out teams to talk about, you know, how you start up a business and how you file, and we're trying to expand with international relations. Speaking of international relations, so I do trade missions. I've done several of them where I actually go out. So I went to Japan. We're engaged with the aerospace industry there and the tabletop gaming industry there as well. And we also take delegations around the state of Washington. So we went out to Eastern Washington and showed the Japanese, Koreans, and Taiwanese about our, you know, our grapes and our wines and our cherries. And so they were just to see how safe our food is. And at the same time, trying to make things a little more better for us. For example, the Japanese have a blueberry tariff, frozen blueberry tariff. And we're trying to get that lifted. Additional programs, the address confidentiality program, which provides, we protect the victims of domestic violence from having their address revealed. Combined fund drive, that's basically all our state employees have the opportunity to do a small payroll deduction to put into one of the 3,000 charities. We got productivity board, which basically is you've got employees that come up with great ideas that save the state money, and they get a little bit of, you know, a little award for that. Now, elections. All right, this is the one where I spend a little more time on. Look, you know my background is in the military. Still am in the National Guard. I deployed to Kosovo and Iraq. And in both those cases, it just for fate, I happened to be involved with both those elections. In Kosovo, my unit was in charge of the security for that particular day of the first 3 or 4 elections in Kosovo. And Iraq, just so happened my unit was responsible for transporting these nomination ballot boxes across the country to the political parties so they could nominate their candidates for the first 3 or 4 elections. In each of those cases, there's violence, there was misinformation from nation state actors trying to bring down this democracy. There were people threatening election workers, threatening elected officials. Never thought that would happen, and it did. And not only did it happen in our own U.S. Capitol, it happened in our own state capitol. We had to call up the National Guard. They were storming the Capitol campus grounds. They tried to get to the governor, and we had to call out the National Guard, the local law enforcement. They were able to rapidly deploy, and so everybody was safe. But a lot of that was driven from misinformation. I'm a firm believer, had people known about elections, maybe that wouldn't have happened. That's our bad, and we're trying to change that around. So when he got in office, I kind of did an assessment of the environment that I'm living in, right? So number one, we got 36% of the population that have doubts about their elections. We have nation state actors who are purposely trying to bring us down, tear us apart through misinformation and cyber theft. We also have criminal actors out there that want to do cyber attacks. We have 1 million cyber attacks that we have throughout the year. Now, luckily, through passive defenses, we pretty much stop most of them. Some of them we have to bring out teams. We coordinate with Homeland Security and the FBI. In fact, I have to go to a classified briefing after this because I was told by the Homeland Security there's some information to tell them about. So that's the seriousness of this. And so what I did is I went, okay, I need to do more with this office because we don't have enough structure set up. Kim Wyman was really good. She set up a cybersecurity team. But I had double the size of security team. Not only to protect our own system, but be more responsive to our 39 county auditors that are actually doing the elections on the ground. The other thing I needed to do is I needed to combat disinformation. Kim Wyman did not have anything set up, but that's because, you know what, 10 years ago, elections were boring. Nobody really cared, right? Now people care. So now we have to have a system in place to not only track the misinformation we see in social media, but to push back on it. And when I say push back, I don't mean like calling people out or anything like that, but talking about elections, which we have never really done before. We have done a very good job, Secretary of State and election officials telling you, hey, don't forget to put your ballot in Dropbox, don't forget to mail your ballot, right? Or if you're in a polling state, don't forget to go to the polls. We haven't told you things about, hey, did you know we check every signature? Did you know we're part of ERIC, the Electronic Registration Information Center? So we talk to other databases. Did you know you can come to your county auditor and actually see the process going on? So we haven't done that, and that's our bad. So we have to turn that around, put that genie back in the bottle. And since I've been in the office, we have had already dealing with misinformation and cyber attacks basically from day one. So a few weeks into my being in the office there, we had monitored a social media campaign, and a disinformation campaign directed at something called an Albert sensor. Now that's a device that's connected to your system, your internet system that you have in your office. And what it does is it detects when a bad actor is sending data to, or you're sending data to them, right? Every county has one. Well, not every county. They should. Snohomish County has one. So for example, if Snohomish County had a bunch of data coming from Russia, or data was leaving Snohomish County to Russia, to an IP address, that'd be suspicious, right? That's what the Albert sensor does. It's part of the defense. Well, this media campaign, social media campaign, this disinformation campaign, basically says that the Albert sensor is tied to George Soros, red metadata changes elections. None of that is true. None of that is true. But unfortunately, it was happening. It was so effective that Ferry County, their county commissioners, all three of them voted unanimously to remove the Albert sensor based upon a lot. Okay. The only reason we knew about it because the auditor contacted us and let us know, hey, they're removing this thing. You gotta do something. So Kim Wyman, I brought Kim Wyman in, Homeland Security, FBI. We actually had folks from the military who do cybersecurity. Brought them there together. We did a Zoom call with the county auditors, county commissioners, letting them know, hey, don't remove the Albert sensor. The Albert sensor is not a George Soros machine. Right? He doesn't even know about it. It is a device that protects you. Unfortunately, I still have, well, now I'm down to one county. I had 3 counties that didn't have an Albert sensor. I'm down to 1. But that's not the scary part. The scary part was 6 weeks later when I was notified by U.S. Cyber Command, that's the military command structure that protects us from cyber threats. They told us that they had identified 6 Russian IP addresses that state and local governments were, they were receiving data from state and local governments. 6 of them. And so we had to go out again and let our counties know, hey, make sure you're not sending data out to these 6 Russian IP addresses. So that's the seriousness that's going on. And since then, we also had other things. We had like our King County elections, the drop boxes were monitored by a third party. We had, though this person, by the time sheriffs went out there, the person had left. There was someone protecting a Dropbox. They were armed. Okay, weirdo. Luckily they left by the time they showed up. We had a white powder incident, right? I mean, you might remember that a couple of months ago. So in some cases there was fentanyl, and in other cases it was baking soda, in other cases it was split between the two. But it happened here in Washington State first, and we formed a team rather quickly to identify what you would see, because it was pretty much the same as envelope that's being sent. We had the FBI involved with the U.S. Postal Service, and because of the fast reaction time, we intercepted, not we, but the U.S. Postal Service was able to intercept some of these letters that were going up to California, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, etc. We've had 4 counties that have been hit with cyber attack. One county was taken offline for 100 hours because of cyber threats, potentially Russia. Who knows? But again, what we need to do is, for our office, is we We do this kind of passive defense, right? So we, stuff that you don't see that's in the background, that you don't have to worry about, that I have to worry about, which is protecting us from cyber. We monitor social media with something called Logically AI, so we can scan social media of public posts. Don't go after people privately. We can't look at your private posts, right? Which is not possible. And we will see the false narratives show up, because that's what happens. Is you hit a critical mass in social media, and that's when the bad things happen. We want to get that before it happens. And so, for example, if I see a false narratives talking about how elections are being hacked, I would know to let the people know through social media, through our news media, through our partners like the League of Women's Voters, like, hey, guess what? Our tabulation machines are not connected to the internet. You can't hack into our system. You just can't. The other thing is we talk more about elections, the boring process of elections. Do you know we do logic and accuracy tests of all of our machines? All the counties do that. They'll take their tabulation machines and we'll test them before they actually use them. We have audits, right? We have risk limiting audits. We have batch audits that we do after the election. I told you about Eric, right? Eric is great because you can identify people who have moved to a different state who are dead. By the way, we have caught people, I guess they're not people anymore, but dead, where their ballot shows up, but they have passed away. But we've had 55 of them last time, but guess what? You want to know why their ballot's counted? Because they signed their ballot, put it in the drop box, and killed them, right? That's why you need to vote early. If you're alive and you sign your ballot, thank you very much. Just make sure you're alive. If you sign your ballot, put it in the drop box before you die, it counts. Now, no. Oh,
55 people.
but, yeah, for 55 people. Hey, but I just want to say this. We have caught in situations where, because we, like I said, Eric, we talked to different databases, when people die, I don't know about it. 9 times out of 10, what happens is a widow or widower will vote for their loved one out of grief. That's usually what happens. Are we going to arrest a 90-year-old woman who is sad that her husband died? No, we're not going to do that, right? Not going to do it again. We're told about it. We also find them through signatures, right? This is what happens. It's like, hey, a warning, this person passed away, but they voted. We'll look at their signature. That's interesting because her signature has the same, like, same swoops or whatever. Looks like her husband's signature. She probably signed it, and that's what happens. We also caught a young lady who was in Whatcom County, went to school at the University of Colorado, and she voted in the same election twice in 2 different states. And prosecutors talked to her. Hey, guess what? You voted in the same election twice. Here's the proof. And her response was, well, I voted for the local folks in Whatcom County, but I voted for the federal folks in Colorado, so I'm okay, right? No, classic felony. However, she didn't know. She honestly didn't know, right? She's a college kid. Are we going to arrest her, put her in prison?
She could run the library in prison.
She could. She could. Good point. Good point. We should push prosecution. These are all handled at the local level. But my point in all this is we identify all this, right? We know what this is happening. That does happen. It is Class C felony. You will, well, it depends on, if there's a plea deal or whatever. It's a Class C felony, so whatever Class C felony is, I don't know, Class C.
Class C, yeah, it's the lowest.
You want to be low or you want to be high?
You don't want an A, you want a C.
You don't want any. Well, you don't want any, but yeah. So, again, we catch a lot of this. Signatures get rejected because some people sign for unintentionally. They think they're doing something good for their kid that's in college and they forgot to sign their ballot and you sign for them. We're going to catch it. And what we're going to do is we're not going to come after you. We're just going to say your son's ballot was rejected. So your son needs to cure it, so it needs to sign a form. Now, it's great now, is we established text messaging now, so you can go into votelaw.gov, which you should do. You can sign up for text messaging, and then we'll let you know where your ballot is in the process. So the moment your ballot is rejected because of signature, we will let you know. So we're trying to put these systems in place. And the last thing is, I'm going over, sorry, didn't mean to do that. This whole immigrants, or, what I hate the term illegals, voting, here's the deal. One, we've got Eric and we've caught people, but it's so tiny. In 2016, 30 people across the United States, of hundreds of millions of people who voted, only 30 people did that. In our state, we had a Canadians, right? No, what happened was, is this individual had been in the United States for a long time, and they figured they could vote, because sometimes they do get a ballot, because you go driver's license, and the person at the counter is not paying attention, go ahead and checks the box, and register to vote. That's a no-no, but it does happen sometimes. It's not a felony, a Class C felony, to be accidentally registered to vote. We have a lot of people come in to try to remove their registration because they want to be citizens of this country. But if a non-citizen votes, they could get deported, they'll definitely get a felony, and it's a bad thing. So usually they don't do it. But the point of this, my discussion, telling you all this, is we catch all this, right? We have systems in place, and I like to think, and when January 6th happened, maybe if all those people had known about elections, maybe if we'd done a better job of telling people about elections, maybe that wouldn't have happened. So anyway, that's the fine. Sorry, I went over about a minute. I can take, I don't know if I'll take questions down.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
So Utah played around a couple of years ago with some biometric kind of on their phone voting. Is that, what's the status of that? Is Washington looking at anything like that?
So, yeah, you're talking about the kind of online voting type stuff. I'm very suspect of that, because of the nation state actors. Look, Russia, China, they are actively trying to disrupt our elections. It's in their national security strategy. And so I'm not prepared to do that. What I am prepared to do is maybe ballot curing, because I can protect that. So let's say your ballot is rejected, we notify you by text message, and then we could hit a link, then you can verify who you are, maybe sign it right there, and then we can cure your ballot. Yeah. I just don't feel confident enough to go to the online voting.
Yeah.
And I always want to have a paper trail.
Election workers.
Yes.
Are you election workers, are they facing a lot of,
They are. Kim Wyman was threatened with her life. We had a Thurston County Auditor threatened. I told you about our AI Logically, where we scan social media. We've had threats on me that have come up. That's why we passed a bill to make it a Class C felony for threatening an election worker. And we've done it. And then, by the way, deepfakes too. We passed a bill dealing with deepfakes. So AI generating deepfakes. To try to ban those. Didn't go far enough, in my opinion, because we have to hold social media platforms accountable. Fortunately, we haven't done that, but we need to do that.
In-person voting, right?
We have that. You can go to the county to do that. They have their centers there. And here's the strange thing. It's a vote by mail state, but during presidential election years, like the majority of you go to the drop box. You know, you can just walk across the street. I've noticed I do it myself. I go to the drop box over here, but I could just go across the street and put my ballot in there. I think just because I get to see people rolling. Yeah.
have those ballot boxes been broken into, or is there any tampering going on with them?
They have not. They have been ran over. Usually though, that's the detriment of the vehicle hitting the drop box. We have seen that before. They're getting more sturdier. We are worried about tampering, and a lot of the drop boxes now are pretty secure. Like you can't just like reach in there or put something in there. But not all drop boxes are like that. We're trying to play catch up because there's some older drop boxes.
I'm at McClellan Park, that a truck ran into one, and one of the legs kind of popped out, but I mean, it was still secure. The truck didn't do so well. Yeah.
We had a misinformation of a Dropbox being stolen one time. It's very brief. What happened was the county auditor in rural county went, I don't have enough Dropboxes. So they called the county auditor in Pierce County, hey, do you have an extra Dropbox? Sure, come on by. Some of these county auditors, very tiny offices, like 3 people. So the county auditor goes in their pickup truck, drives to Pierce County, loads up the Dropbox on their pickup, drives back to the county, gets hungry, stops by the mall, gets a burger. What's on this truck? Everybody can see. A Pierce County Dropbox. So what happened? It got posted on social media. Now, that was several years ago. If that happened now with the Russian GRU and the ability to take AI just scanning social media, that would immediately been taken, that image. There would have been a fake news organization developed, or a spoof of one like CNN or Fox or whatever, and then that information would be peppered back into the local area, causing chaos. That's what we do.
There's a question about tours, of election facilities.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe speaking to that, an observation.
Yeah, come on by. You can go see Garth. Garth is your auditor here.
Yeah.
Check out his facility. You see it yourself.
Who does Russia and China back for government?
I don't think they care about the governor's race. They will care about, they'll go all the way down to congressional races, and sometimes for the Chinese, they go down to this, almost down to city council. But the Chinese tend not to interfere. They tend to monitor. They tend to kind of keep track of who's who. Their strategy is completely different from Russia. Russia's strategy is, I'm going to go there. I'm going to mess things up. I'm not even gonna wait. I'm just gonna mess things up as much as possible. China's kind of like, I'm gonna go see what's going on, but when I need to, I'm gonna mess your country up. And that's what your U.S. Cybersecurity Command is trying to protect, and the NSA and people like myself.
Do we do the same to them?
So, yeah.
No.
If I can go back to archives.
Yeah.
I just appreciate working with you this last year. The archive side, we have institutionalized people with intellectual and developmental disabilities in the state since the late 1800s. And there was a bill last year that we worked with Steve in your office on to protect the records of people that were in our state institutions at that time. So just appreciate the cooperation of you and your office on working on that.
Absolutely.
They were people, they should be remembered, and we as a state should be responsible for what we've done with you.
And I think you remind me this tangent, but I'm glad you brought that up. But the other thing that we have is we have some really weird records in there too. So remember back in the Cold War, we had civil defense for that. Okay, civil defense is a state by state effort organized at the national level. But one of the jobs is to track UFOs. I'm not kidding. Really track UFOs. So if you want to maybe see if there was some alien activity in the state of Washington, come to our archives and check out that part of the archives. I don't know. I don't know.
Unique reports,
Yeah, so
put it
unique.
that way.
Not.
What about the archives building down in San Juan? Is that closed?
Oh, that's the federal one, I believe, not still open.
Still open?
Still open. They just want to close it to save money.
So there's a large effort underway with the new federal archivist to make sure that there are federal dollars to keep that local versus having all of Alaska and Washington and Oregon's records go to Utah. I think it's come to back up, but that's not local.
Yeah.
Cool
Thank
stuff.
you.
All right, anything else for the good of the order? All right. Meeting's up.
Yeah, it started right on. Yeah.
He calls me, grab my, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be sad.
You know, some of the homicide, this thing happened on homicide.
Yeah, I ever heard it, it's been on.
Or I was.